So before we begin photoshopping our images from our collection, I've got a couple of pictures that I'd like you to practice with. So in your project folder, I'd like you to make a new folder and just call it practice. This is where we can put these two pictures and then work with them in Photoshop. Right-click on the image and save image as, and go into the practice folder, and you can just leave the names the way that they are. Let me go back and also get the taco one. Right-click, save image as, and put it in the same place. You'll notice that in the names of the files, it's telling you which adjustment layer you need to use. So let's start with the soup. By right-clicking on an image, you can actually tell the computer to open it with another program. Now, I've already done it once, so Photoshop is here. You'll probably need to choose another app and maybe even ask for more apps before you find Photoshop. Don't click this, or every time you want to look at a picture, it's going to have to open this whole program. That should remain Photos by default. If this doesn't open all the way, you may have to sign in using the Enterprise login. You have to look for the word Enterprise, click on it, and then all you should need to put in is your username. Here we are with the picture of the soup. You can see that I've got a single layer, it's named background, and it's locked. We don't want to make changes to the actual pixels of this particular picture. We want to put another layer on top of it that adjusts its black and white points. Let me show you. Layer, new adjustment layer, and for this one, we're using levels. This histogram is actually a bar graph showing how many perfectly black pixels, dark pixels, gray, on up through the white pixels up here. And as you can see, there are no black pixels in this picture, but there should be. So we take this black point and we bring it in to where the graph starts to go up. And you'll notice that this starts to look a lot better. There are some perfectly white pixels in this image. And the best way to tell what these are doing is sometimes to go too far, and you can see that everything to the right of this point has been made perfect white. Kind of strange looking. So bring it in until it looks about right. Now what I like to do is the midpoint one here, I like to just wiggle it back and forth, and just looking at the picture of the soup, I just find a place where it looks nice. Sometimes I end up right back in the middle again, and sometimes I don't. I'm going to go ahead and use this eyeball to toggle that layer on and off and see how much better that looks. If you go too far, you can always go back. Let me go too far on purpose and then show you where this layer is. To get back in here and make changes, I can double click right here and I can go back and take it back a little bit. File, Save As, and by default, it's going to be the PSD Photoshop type of file. We're here in practice, so just click Save. And then we can save it as a JPEG as well. File, Save As, and go ahead and change this to JPEG. I'm going to put the word revised in front of it. And that's what you will turn in. For the other picture, you're going to do the same thing. Layer, new adjustment layer, and this time you're going to do hue and saturation. So I'd like you to reduce the saturation and save that one as a Photoshop file and as a JPEG. So this one right here, this taco, has a little bit too much color. I want you to reduce the color a little bit and make it more appetizing. You can see the difference between this one and this one. It's a great improvement over the one that was there before.